Everybody's trying to rush into it. I understand, why. And yes, we all miss it. And I know we've talked about it, and we're going to keep talking about it until who knows when. But now we're seeing states open to go ahead and have professional sports return. We have Arizona, Florida, California, Texas, and New York. That's 30% of each major league who's approved to, that they've okayed for sports to return.
What do you think? You think it's too soon?
Too soon.
I agree, but you know what? You can't tell billionaires that it's too soon. You simply can't. You can't tell billionaires not to go and make their money. You can't. Billionaires aren't billionaires because they don't make money, because they don't take risks, because they don't take risks not just on their own, but take risks with their employees. Here's my question, though, and it's not even a question, it's a statement, and I truly, truly believe this, and I think that, and I heard someone say it the other day on the news, finally, and I've been saying this forever, herd immunity. That's what this country, that's what a lot of other countries are going to go for. And I know it sounds cold, but it's going to be herd immunity. Either you adapt to this or you don't. But nothing is going to stand still anymore. It's just not going to happen because economies have to make money, and they're not going to just keep giving out checks. And so it's just a matter of time before they say, okay, enough is enough, the strong survive. It's just really that way. And when you say herd immunity, that's basically what you're saying. Either you get immune to it, you find a vaccine, or this train just keeps moving. And unfortunately, that's what's going to happen. And if you really want to see things start to happen, and I'll just use NBA players right now. NBA players, up until recently, were receiving full checks, and now they're receiving 25% less. Let them find out that they're not going to get a check. And all of a sudden, guys, not the LeBrons, not the Wades, not the Kawhis, not those guys, but the guys that are making $4 or $5 million a year, give them 3 months without a check and watch them start crying poverty and say, you know what, we'll take the risk. My issue is more so what do we do with college and high school sports. But the pros that are making money, they're going to take that. They're going to take that risk.
I totally understand. I totally get it. Yes, immunity is the only way that we're going to, be able to get through it. Just putting it that way. Unfortunately. So, but I do think it's too soon. Yes, I agree that sports, eventually make a comeback, but not in a rush. Go ahead and plan it out. Come up with the protocols, safety measures. Not to try and mitigate and not put your players at risk and put fans at risk. So right now we're seeing baseball. They're trying to. I understand. Yes, money and economy, of course. Yes, come back. Let's make it better. But we don't want to come to something worse with not doing it properly.
I got you. But the fans, I think, are going to come separate. I'm talking about risk reward for players. And so I'm saying that. So say you are an NBA player, and like I said, I'll just stay on this topic with the NBA, and you make $5 million a year. And right now you're living like you make $5 million a year. You miss 4 or 5 checks, you're in trouble. See, for a person that makes 40, 50 grand a year, you miss a couple checks, you figure it out, and you say, you know what, the hell with it. I guess cable ain't getting paid, but I'm going to keep these lights on. You start missing checks that are deposited $80,000 a month, and your mortgage is, $15,000, $14,000. You're in trouble. And I think that's why I think, do I agree with you? I agree with you. I think it's too soon to bring sports back. But the more I'm reading, the more I'm saying sports are coming back. And all you have to do is look at the owner of the Houston Rockets, who paid $2.2 billion. Fertitta did paid $2.2 billion, Tillman Fertitta, for the Rockets. This guy owns restaurants, casinos, and resorts. You know who's not making money these days? Restaurants, casinos, and resorts. Now, he's a billionaire, so it's going to take him a long time, but even he's borrowed some money against things that he needs to keep everything floating. And you don't think he's going to do this? He sold $745 million of bonds that are maturing in 2024 at an interest rate of 6.75%. $670 million worth of bonds maturing in 2025 at 8.75%. So you didn't think I was going to bring them stats? Yeah, I was ready. I was ready for this question.
I wasn't ready for some math today. Wow.
they are coming back. And it's just that simple. They're coming back because they're not going to miss that. When you have a billionaire borrowing against his own assets, you're coming back and you're going to play this game. And it's going to be sooner rather than later.
No, of course, eventually it's going to be a comeback. But, we saw NASCAR. That happened. I believe that was second to the UFC, if I may be incorrect. But that's but I think that's the way that it played out. Now we're moving into golf coming back.
Boxing,
baseball. Boxing. Baseball is also. We'll see if we do have a season. There's conflict. There's some conflict there, but if everything does come if they all come to an agreement, it would have to be by the end of the month. And for us to be able to see a season, we have MLS, who already has canceled their All-Star events, All-Star games. So, we are seeing things canceled, events canceled. NFL, we have also already, they're saying that they're going to have a season and putting in safety measures. I don't know all the details for the NFL yet, but, there's no holdback there. But I just say if it takes a little bit longer and do it safely, but, okay, do it. I understand, yes, you're going to have your billionaires, everybody, wanting money and get things moving, but is it that much worth the risk?
Yes. Yes, it is. And again, go back to, is it worth the risk, what we think? No, but again, is it worth the risk for what some players think? But they're going to start to weigh that. Again, if you're a baseball player and you made it up to the major leagues last year, and they're telling you, hey, if you don't play, we don't have money for you. But you got a house, you're living in a city that you plan in a city you don't live in, you got rent that you're paying in an apartment because you don't know when you're coming back, and you got a mortgage you're paying somewhere else, and you got a wife and kids. Is it worth my risk? You know what? It probably is. Am I necessarily agreeing with it? No, but it's not my money. And so that's why I'm starting to understand what people are doing, and that's why I've made the differences between pro and college. Pros, as a grown person, man, woman, you can say, am I going to roll the dice on my health to make this money? Because even if something goes wrong, at least I have the money left for my family. And I think they're willing to do that. I really do. Because it's a big difference in missing a $1,600 check and missing an $80,000 check. So we, not saying we as in me and you, but most of us can borrow a couple hundred from a cousin. Most of us can't borrow $17,000 from a cousin. Don't work. Don't work.
True. Yeah, I understand. I totally get all the points you're making, but I agree to disagree in a way, but I still say that. give
I'm with you.
some extra time.
Yep. No, I'm with you. Listen, I'm not disagreeing with you. I agree with you. I just think we got to face the reality that it's coming. It's about to happen. That ESPN is not, believe me, ESPN is not saying, wow, as great as Jordan has been, and we're going to make money off of this series and viewership, and we're going to play some Jordan games over the next week. We're going to watch, but we can't keep showing this Korean baseball. They're leaning on Major League because people say they miss sports, right? People don't miss sports. People miss the teams they love playing sports. There's a difference.
Yeah, there is a difference. For me, I'll be honest, I do miss sports, just period. So I do watch the variety, the different teams, even if it's not my favorite team or a team of preference. But if it's going to be a good game and it's a sport that I do enjoy watching, and depending on who is playing, of course, yeah, I do watch those games. I do watch those matchups. So
you're better than me.
Everybody is different. Everybody has their taste. I
do not want to see the TK Samsung Lions play against the TC Mitsubishi Monkeys. I don't want to see it. I want to see the Diamondbacks. I want to see the White Sox. I want to see them. I think it's fun to watch one time, like, hey, that was pretty cool. But I'm not setting the clock to watch the Samsungs play against the Mitsubishi, even though that's a pretty cool uniform, those Samsung uniforms. Those kind of cool. I might order one of those.
I'll put the order in.
Yeah.
So, well, this will continue to evolve, and we'll see how this continues to develop. So we'll be talking about it for some time to come. So, yeah.
Yep.
And another turn of events and some changes happening is with the NFL and minorities. So we've seen it. Minorities are, you don't see as much in professional sports, or at least the coaches and of that nature. And NFL is trying to change that. I think it's great. And with this, I think other sports, other leagues are going to follow. How much of an impact is it going to be?
I think you are the most nice person I've ever met. And you look at things so positively. That's probably why we've been friends all these years. Because the NFL is full of crap. The NFL is full of KRAP crap. Because here's the situation. And let's just be honest. The owners of the NFL is the epitome of the good old boys network. Good old boys network. They're saying, we're going to incent, really stop and think. A proposal to incent draft choices by hiring a minority GM or a minority coach or a minority president of football operations. Why do you have to incent the people who make the decisions to do something when the incentive should be that you can hire the best person for the job anyway, and don't limit it? See, no one, and I've said this all the time. Everyone throws the word racist out. I call it the comfortability scale. If you're old and you're rich, really rich, wealthy, not rich, wealthy. If you're old, wealthy, and more than likely an old white male, who are 90% of your friends, if not more? Old, rich, white males. You're not including minorities because you don't want to. You're including the people that you're most comfortable with. So you're not going out of your way to exclude. This is why I say if you look around people and who they group themselves with, you generally know that when they're speaking of certain subjects that they have insight on.